NewsNation 6:30 here in Washington tonight. The White House now facing two conflicts escalating on the world stage involving Russia, one part of the world, and the drug cartels in South America. Ukraine reeling tonight after more overnight strikes carried out by Russia. At least half a dozen people killed, along with widespread power outages. The Treasury Department today announcing new sanctions on Russia. Today, now that puts a Trump-Putin summit no longer in the works. Meanwhile, take a look at this. The U.S. destroying another boat believed to be smuggling drugs. It is the 8th deadly strike of its kind, but this one not in the Caribbean, rather in the Pacific Ocean. A first time that's happened. Our Kelly Meyer live from the White House tonight on two big stories. Kelly, we saw the, good evening to you. We saw the president in the Oval. You had a lot of news there. On the one front, sanctions, major sanctions against Russia. The White House calling for a ceasefire in that war. And then in the water there, the president saying, you know what? We might move these strikes to land.
Yeah, a lot of news in the Oval Office tonight, Blake, and it hits on these two main points, as you mentioned, the ongoing strikes on the cartels we've been following, really seeming like there's one each week at this point, and this is the 8th strike, as you mentioned, but really the first we're seeing in that area of the Eastern Pacific off the coast of Colombia. We know 2 people were killed, or as the White House calls them, narco-terrorists. The president tonight saying he has the authority to do this and basically confirming the strikes will continue, even though he says there are very few boats traveling by water now. Listen to this.
We will hit them very hard when they come in by land. And they haven't experienced that yet, but now we're totally prepared to do that. We'll probably go back to Congress and explain exactly what we're doing when we come to the land.
And now Russia and Ukraine, another big focus here at the White House with this unexpected visit from NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. President Trump again is pushing for this war to end and saying that every time he speaks to Putin, it's a good conversation, but it doesn't go anywhere, he says. And now he's taking that extra step to impose sanctions on Russia's 2 biggest oil companies. Listen to this.
I just felt it was time. We've waited a long time. Today is a very big day in terms of what we're doing. Look, these are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. Those are against their 2 big oil companies. And we hope that they won't be on for long. We hope that the war will be settled.
And Blake, I wanted to say the NATO Secretary General is going to be walking by us here behind us. We'll see if he does take some time to talk to reporters at the cameras as well. I wanted to see NATO Secretary General, what's next? What's the next step? No, we didn't get one. Rutte added it could put pressure on President Putin here, and this would be step 1 in getting a ceasefire. So that looks like it'll be the next step. He did say it was a good meeting here today. And President Trump saying of his face-to-face meeting with Putin, though it's off the books right now, he says we'll do it in the future. Blake.
Kelly Meyer live, as you can see there on the North Lawn, doing her job. Kelly, thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, you tried. You did what you should have done. Kelly, thank you. All right, with us now here on the Hill tonight, he is a Republican from the state of Georgia, Congressman Rich McCormick, member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, with us tonight here on the Hill. Hello, sir.
Good to see you again.
Good, nice to see you. I should let our audience know, served in the Navy, served in the Marines, helicopter pilot, so these foreign issues you know a thing or two about, obviously. Venezuela and the president there suggesting land operations, land strikes maybe, and going before Congress. Separate these two. 1, do you want land strikes? 2, do you think he needs to go to you guys for them?
I like the fact that he's going to Congress. It's been a long time since Congress has been involved in improving war. Not since World War II have we approved something like this. We've kind of basically deferred to the president, and since that time we hadn't had very good results, quite frankly. I like that. It's unfortunate we're in this position with Venezuela. We used to train with Venezuelan Marines. When I first came to the Marine Corps in 1990, we had a Venezuelan Marine in TBS through a 6-month school with us. We were tight with them. They're considered great allies. They had the 2nd highest GDP per capita in the world at that time. And since then, Maduro has basically run that country into the ground despite their vast resources. And now they're basically contaminating our society with their drugs, with fentanyl overdoses and everything else they're trying to bring here. They brought crime here. They've emptied their jails and sent people here through illegal immigration into America. The question is, what are they trying to take out on land?
Would you be in favor of the general concept?
You know, I don't want to put troops on the ground, or at least anybody other than special forces. I don't want to have direct contact with the enemy.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind taking out stuff that we agreed on between, well, obviously we're not going to agree with Maduro on anything,
right.
but if there's something nefarious that's earmarked for America, we can get eyes on target, and we know it's something that's going to do death and destruction to America. I've always said that. It doesn't matter if you're in Iran or Venezuela or anywhere in this world. If you're meaning to do harm to the United States, you are a target.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.